Hello and welcome to PIC's Facebook Live Youth Interview Panel. The mission of the Parent Information Center of Delaware, or PIC for short, is to improve the educational and health outcomes for children and youth by empowering them, their families, and the professionals who serve them. We help parents learn more about IDEA, the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act, and empower them to be more effective communicators. My name is Harley Doolittle. I work for PIC, and I'm a graduate from the Centerville Lane Preparatory and the University of Delaware, where I earned a Bachelor of the Arts degree in Philosophy and Geography with minors in History and Public Policy. I have worked at PIC for over 6 months, assisting the staff to best serve youth with disabilities and their families. This interview is part of PIC's Mini Youth Leadership Conference. The aim of this conference is to help youth develop their self-advocacy skills and learn how they can drive their own transition plan, which simply means youth guiding direction over the next chapter in their lives. The more practice youth receive in self-advocacy, the more capable they will become in the world. However, it is important to first define what self-advocacy is, as knowing its definition is vital for understanding this interview and questions, and fostering self-advocacy is going to be a major goal of the conference. In essence, self-advocacy is knowing what one's own needs are, knowing who can assist you in meeting your own needs, and effectively communicating your needs to a party capable of helping you. Now, I would like to introduce Matthew Witt, Testimony Olatunji, and Jackson Ward. These people are youth who have or are experiencing a school to work transition and will be participating in the conference or want to promote it. To the three interviewees here, I would like to ask if there's anything you would each want to share with us. Testimony, would you like to be the first?
Yes, I do. Hi, my name is Testimony Olatunji. I am 17 years old. I'm about to go into my senior year, and I attend Gopher High School.
Thank you. Thank you, Testimony. Jackson, is there anything you'd like to introduce about yourself?
Yes, my name is Jackson Ward. I am 15 years old. I am in 9th grade. I'm moving into 10th grade. And I attend the Christiana High School.
Thank you, Jackson. Matthew, would you be willing to share anything?
My name is Matthew Witt. I'm 18. I go to Odessa High School in 12th grade.
Thank you, Matthew. And without further ado, I welcome you to the interview. To begin, is there any achievements that, each of you are especially proud of and would be willing to share? Jackson, would you be willing to share such?
Yes, over the course of the 9th grade, I missed no school days and I missed no assignments, which I have not done in a school year before. And I'm proud of that. And it helped me keep my grades up.
I'm glad you achieved that goal and you're getting to see all of your school year, Jackson. Matthew, are there any achievements you're proud of?
Making it to 12th grade.
Well, I'm glad you're there, and never forget to be proud of that. Testimony, is there anything you've achieved that you're proud of?
Yes, I am, and I s- I spoke at the peak event. I completed it my swimming class this summer, and I got baptized, and I interviewed at the Youth Discover.
I'm glad you've had the opportunity to express your thoughts and experiences testimony. Thank you for sharing that. So, how, if I may begin next, Matthew, how did you learn to begin advocating for yourself?
Bye, Mom.
I'm glad you had your mother's support, Matthew, and that's been of help to you. Testimony. How did you learn to begin advocating for yourself?
I learned that my mother helped me to begin with my voice.
I'm glad your mother was able to give you assistance also, testimony. Jackson, how did you learn to begin advocating for yourself?
In school, sometimes I would have problems where I wouldn't know what I was supposed to be doing, or I would think I knew what I was supposed to be doing, but I would get it very wrong. And in situations like that, my parents have taught me that it would be better to ask for help in those situations and to start finding things out.
I'm happy to hear everyone had such strong help from their families and learning to advocate for themselves. So, what barriers have each of you experienced while trying to self-advocate? Uh, Jackson, your experiences?
Um, for me, when I'm doing something on my own that previously would have required instructions, I have a fear of getting it wrong. Um, because I don't want to do it, and then someone comes and oh, this is not what I told you to do at all, and then I wouldn't like that. And sometimes that could make me ask way too much for instructions or be way too particular about the instructions where I don't need to be.
Well, that's an issue many people have faced, and it is fine to have felt that worry. Matthew, what barriers have you experienced that have kept you from self-advocating?
I'm not able to understand things like my IEP.
Thank you for sharing that. For sharing that Matthew. Testimony. Are there any barriers you've experienced while trying to self-advocate?
Yes, I do, and I do not understand my IEP.
Yes, understanding the individual education plan is an important step and and important, but important, and I understand the difficulties myself. Thank you for sharing, all of you. So, what barriers of self-advocacy do you think other youths are likely to face? Testimony?
You should be a part of the IEP and advocating so they can advocate.
Thank you for sharing that relation difficulty with your own challenges in self-advocacy. Thank you. Testimony. Matthew, what barriers do you think youth are liable to encounter?
Being shy and not able to understand the IEP.
Thank you for sharing your perspective, Matthew. Jackson, what barriers to self-advocacy do you think other youth are likely to face?
Probably dependency on other on uh forgot the word. Dependency on people who normally give them instructions. Like I think if they're so used to receiving help and guidance from others, then they would have a hard time transitioning into doing that on their own if they've never been taught to do it on their own.
Thank you for that, Jackson. It's good to hear that each of you have your own views on what you believe the biggest barriers are that others are likely to face in advocating for themselves. So, in what ways have you made use of your self-advocacy skills in, your lives? Matthew?
By helping me understand my IEP better.
Thank you, Matthew. Jackson, how have you made use of your self-advocacy skills?
I'd be managing my time at school to be able to finish all of my assignments before I got home. It just makes it easier for me. I have a hard time doing homework, and if I finish them all at school, then I won't have to worry about homework. And I was able to manage my time to do that.
I'm glad to hear you've been able to apply what you learned. Testimony. In what ways have you made use of your self-advocacy skills?
When I interviewed at the Youth Discover and I shared my one pager from my IEP.
I'm glad you got to use and express your experiences, testimony. Thank you. Jackson, what self-advocacy skills would you want, youth to learn from attending PIC's Youth Leadership Conference?
If you you shouldn't be afraid to ask questions and ask for help, even if you feel that you're asking a stupid question or that everyone already knows the answer, or that you might even if you feel like it's a dumb question, you should still ask it because you don't know the answer and you need to know the answer. So you should always ask the questions that you need the answers to.
That is a strong piece of advice, Jackson. Thank you. Testimony. What self-advocacy skills do you want other youth to learn from attending the conference?
It is important to know your strengths and what are you interested in.
Thank you for giving your advice and thoughts on how to focus and take use of your own skills in whatever situation you find yourself in. Testimony. Matthew, is there anything you want other youth to learn by attending the conference?
Speak up for yourself.
Good advice. Always good advice, Matthew. Thank you. Okay. Testimony. Is there anything you want for parents and families to learn from attending the conference?
Yes, and parents should be available to help their citizens so they can advocate.
I would agree that family support is, is very, very vital and helpful to anyone wanting to learn to self-advocate for themselves. Jackson, do you have anything you'd like for families and parents to learn from this conference?
I'd say no matter what situation your child is in, you should always teach them to work on their own and do things on their own. Even if like at the moment they really need your guidance, even if they have some sort of disorder or something, or they just really need your help. Right now it's better to teach them down the line that how to be on their own, because at some point they will need to be on their own, and you're gonna have to, they'll have to be comfortable with that when they get there, so you'll have to help them at some point get there.
Yes, Matt Jackson, helping someone you know and care for learn to be, as independent as they can is a vital and valuable step. Thank you. Matthew, is there anything you'd like for families and, parents to learn from attending the conference?
Like your dad was saying what they want for their IEP.
Thank you, Matthew. That, again, listening to what, those families learning to listen and teach, learn from what their, young family members want to do and, communicating what the goal is, that is vital. Thank you. And finally, to conclude our questions, Matthew, what dreams, goals, or aspirations do you have?
Graduate high school.
I'm sure you can do that, Matthew, and you can do. I'm proud to look to. I look forward to hearing what you can do in the future. Jackson, do you have any dreams, goals, or aspirations?
Having a job where I can make and hang out with a lot of friends, so I'll have friends. Just anywhere that I can work, or during work I can also be with friends. That's good enough for me.
Well, that's a wonderful thing to hope for, and I hope you find it as soon as possible, as soon as you can, Jackson. Testimony. What are your dreams, goals, and aspirations?
So my dreams is to have my own clothing store and learning how to get customers and following by passion and buying in-house.
Well, that is a wonderful goal, Testimony, and I'd like to visit any store you open. So let me know if you do. Thank you. Thank you for talking us with us today, Testimony, Matthew, and Jackson. You all did incredibly. This Facebook Live will be posted on PIC's Facebook page, so please share with other youth who have disabilities and their families so that they are made aware of this conference. Registration is open, so please go to PIC's website and register for the conference today. The Mini Youth Leadership Conference will take place at William Henry Middle School in Kent County on Saturday, August 24th from 9:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. With that said, I would like to hand the floor to Samtram Devard, PIC's transition coordinator, who has several important announcements to make.
Thank you, Harley, and thank you, Matthew, Testimony, and Jackson for just your courageous choice to take this opportunity to share your voice and a bit of your journey with our audience. I am so proud of you guys. You did so great, and Harley, thank you as well for hosting this interview. I am the transition coordinator for Parent Information Center of Delaware, and we have just been so happy to connect with families and to assist with transition to adulthood planning. That is a part of the IEP. And we are just excited to be able to help and to assist any family who has a need in that area, or any professional who is working with transition age youth. Please feel free to call Parent Information Center for assistance. We host transition focus groups every second and fourth Tuesday of the month. You could go to our website and register and join in. We have a community already underway where families can come and we could talk about the issues and barriers and next steps in the process of preparing for life after high school. We also have another Facebook Live planned for Monday with parents, and to talk about what they hope to learn and gain skills regarding their transition aged youth at the conference. And again, as Harley mentioned, please feel free to register. The conference is on Saturday, August 24th. We have information or the link to register on the Parent Information Center website. And I am just busting inside because I'm so proud of our youth, and that's all we have for you. Thank you so much for tuning in and for listening to our youth and hearing their voices, and have a great day.